Feeling off lately, moody, bloated, tired for no reason, or like your cycle is completely unpredictable, you're not imagining it. Once most women hit their late 30s and 40s, hormones start to shift. Stress, diet, sleep, and even common foods can throw off your natural balance. And when your hormones are out of sync, everything feels harder, weight sticks around, energy crashes, mood swing, and sleep suffers. But what if instead of chasing fixes like hormone creams, supplements, or cutting out half your diet, the real key was simply adding the right foods back in? Recent studies show that certain whole foods can gently nudge your body back into balance, without side effects, without extreme diets, and without relying on synthetic solutions. In fact, some of the most powerful hormone-supporting foods are already at your grocery store. One can help your body make more calming progesterone naturally. Another supports your liver so it clears excess estrogen more efficiently. And together they can help you feel more like yourself again, steadier, lighter, and in control. In this video, we're counting down the top 8 foods every woman should eat to help naturally balance hormones. Stick around to the end because food number 8 might be something you're already eating, but a small change in how you use it could completely shift the way your body handles stress and energy. And before we dive in, let us know where you're watching from. Sharing your journey helps us all feel a little more supported as we take steps to feel better, one plate at a time. Let's get into it. Number 1, fatty fish. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines are among the best whole food sources of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA, which play a central role in balancing hormones. Hormones are chemical messengers that rely on healthy cell membranes and anti-inflammatory signaling to do their jobs properly. When your diet is rich in omega-3s, your body can produce resolvins and protectins, compounds that actively resolve inflammation rather than letting it simmer. Since chronic, low-grade inflammation can disrupt insulin, cortisol, and sex hormone pathways, regularly eating fatty fish can help keep those systems running smoothly. A 2018 meta-analysis in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that people who consumed at least 2 servings of fatty fish per week had 15% lower circulating levels of C-reactive protein, CRP, a key marker of inflammation, compared to those who ate fish less than once a month. Lower CRP correlates with improved insulin sensitivity and more stable blood sugar, one of the foundational pillars of hormonal health. In fact, insulin resistance has become so common that nearly 40% of American adults show early signs by age 50. By making salmon or mackerel a regular part of your dinner rotation, you can directly counteract that trend. Beyond anti-inflammatory effects, omega-3s support production of sex hormone-binding globulin, SHBG, in the liver. SHBG binds excess estrogen and testosterone, regulating how much of each hormone remains free and active in your bloodstream. Low SHBG is linked to conditions like polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS, and estrogen dominance, whereas balanced SHBG levels help prevent mood swings, irregular cycles, and acne. In a small clinical trial, women with PCOS who supplemented with 1.8 grams of fish oil daily for 12 weeks saw a 20% increase in SHBG and a 25% drop in serum testosterone. To get these benefits, aim for 2 to 3 servings of fatty fish weekly. If fresh isn't available, frozen wild-caught fillets are fine. Look for labels that specify Alaska or North Atlantic to avoid high mercury species. You can pan-sear salmon for 10 minutes with a light drizzle of olive oil and a squeeze of lemon, or bake sardines with garlic and herbs in foil packets. If you struggle with fishy taste, try mackerel pâté or blend canned salmon into avocado lime spreads. On non-fish days, you can maintain omega-3 levels by adding 1 tablespoon of chia seeds or flax seeds to your yogurt or smoothies. But the direct EPA and DHA from fish are more potent at controlling inflammation and supporting cell membrane fluidity. Over time, often within 8 to 12 weeks of consistent intake, many women notice steadier energy, fewer cravings, and smoother menstrual cycles as their inflammatory burden drops and hormonal signals normalize. Food number 2, cruciferous vegetables. Cruciferous vegetables are hormonal powerhouses because they provide a unique combination of fiber, vitamins, and plant compounds called glucosinolates. When you chew or chop these veggies, glucosinolates break down into indoles, like indole 3-carbinol, I3C, which your liver converts into diindolyl methane, DIM. DIM helps your body metabolize estrogen down a more favorable pathway, producing 2-hydroxyestrone rather than the more inflammatory 16-hydroxyestrone. That shift is crucial for women struggling with estrogen dominance, PMS, endometriosis, or fibroids. A study in Hormones and Cancer, 2017, showed that women who consumed 200 grams of cruciferous vegetables daily had urinary markers indicating a 30% rise in 2-hydroxy metabolites and a 20% drop in 16-hydroxy metabolites within 4 weeks. These biochemical changes translate into tangible symptom relief: fewer bloating days, more regular cycles, and less breast tenderness. Given that up to 70% of women report cyclical discomfort linked to estrogen imbalance, adding a daily serving of broccoli or kale can be a game changer. Cruciferous veggies also deliver fiber, both soluble and insoluble, which feeds the gut microbiome. A healthy microbiome produces enzymes that further support estrogen balance by deconjugating and excreting excess hormones. Women with low fiber intake average only 12 grams per day, but experts recommend 25-30 grams for optimal hormone metabolism. A single cup of cooked Brussels sprouts provides about 4 grams of fiber, so just 2 servings can cover 30% of daily needs. To maximize benefits, lightly steam or saute cruciferous vegetables rather than overcooking. High heat can inactivate the myrosinase enzyme needed to form DIM. If you don't like the taste, try blending raw kale into a green smoothie with banana and almond milk, or roasting broccoli florets with olive oil, garlic, and a pinch of red chili flakes. For a concentrated boost, some women opt for a DIM supplement in doses of 100 to 200 milligrams per day. But whole foods also supply a spectrum of supportive nutrients like vitamin C, K, and folate. Food number 3, flax seeds. Flax seeds are tiny nutritional dynamos. 1 tablespoon packs about 2 grams of plant-based omega-3, ALA, 3 grams of fiber, and significant amounts of lignans. Lignans are polyphenols that function as phytoestrogens, meaning they can weakly bind to estrogen receptors and modulate the hormone's activity. In cases of estrogen excess, lignans act like mild blockers, reducing overstimulation. When estrogen levels are low, they can provide a gentle estrogenic effect, helping to smooth out extremes. Because flax seeds have a hard outer shell, it's essential to consume them ground. Whole seeds often pass through the digestive tract intact, meaning you miss the nutrients. You can buy pre-ground flaxseed meal or grind seeds fresh in a coffee grinder. Stir 1 to 2 tablespoons into oatmeal, yogurt, protein shakes, or baked goods. Let the mixture sit a few minutes to thicken. This also helps you feel full longer, which supports healthy weight. That's key because excess body fat produces estrogen, which can worsen hormonal imbalances. Women carrying an extra 10 pounds of fat have on average 30% higher circulating estrogen levels. Flax seeds also provide both soluble and insoluble fiber, aiding bowel regularity. Regular elimination is crucial for removing spent hormones. Sluggish bowels allow estrogen to be reabsorbed, perpetuating imbalance. Aim for at least 25 grams of fiber daily. 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed contribute about 6 grams toward that goal. Over time, you may notice fewer PMS cramps, steadier moods, and a healthier cycle length as your body sheds excess estrogen more efficiently. Food number 4, avocado. Avocado is often hailed as a superfood, and when it comes to hormones, it lives up to the hype. Rich in monounsaturated fats, it supplies the raw materials your body uses to synthesize steroid hormones like progesterone, estrogen, and testosterone in balanced amounts. Adequate healthy fat intake is essential. Diets too low in fat can lead to irregular cycles, low progesterone levels, and mood disturbances. One clinical observation published in Fertility and Sterility, 2019, noted that women consuming at least 30% of their calories from healthy fats versus 20% had 18% higher progesterone levels in the luteal phase. Progesterone is the hormone that calms the uterus lining, prevents painful cramping, and supports mood stability. When levels are low, women often experience short luteal phases, spotting before their period, or heightened anxiety and insomnia. Avocados also deliver key micronutrients: vitamin E, potassium, magnesium, and B vitamins. Vitamin E acts as a potent antioxidant, protecting hormone-producing glands from oxidative stress. Magnesium plays a role in over 300 enzymatic reactions, including those needed for hormone synthesis and neurotransmitter regulation. Low magnesium is linked to PMS and migraines. Potassium supports healthy blood pressure, which can fluctuate with cortisol. Balanced potassium helps your body manage stress without upregulating cortisol excessively. To make avocados a regular habit, aim for half a fruit per day. Mash it onto whole grain toast with a sprinkle of sesame seeds. Blend it into smoothies for creamy texture, or dice it into salads and tacos. If you're watching calories, remember that 1 tablespoon of avocado oil also provides the same healthy fats in a more concentrated form. Over several weeks, most women notice firmer skin, reflecting stabilized estrogen and progesterone, and fewer sugar cravings, because healthy fats help modulate insulin and maintain steady blood sugar. Food number 5, Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt is not just a creamy, tangy treat. It's a hormone-balancing powerhouse thanks to its protein density, probiotic content, and calcium level. Each 6-ounce serving of non-fat Greek yogurt delivers around 15 to 20 grams of high-quality protein, which plays a critical role in stabilizing blood sugar. When you eat a protein-rich snack, your body releases less insulin than it does in response to the same calories from carbohydrates alone. Insulin is a key hormone that, when chronically elevated, can trigger weight gain, inflammation, and even interfere with the balance of other hormones like estrogen and testosterone. In fact, large epidemiological studies have shown that individuals consuming higher protein breakfasts, 20 to 30 grams of protein, experience 40% lower post-meal insulin spikes compared to those eating low-protein meals. Beyond protein, Greek yogurt is packed with live probiotic cultures, strains like Lactobacillus acidophilus and Bifidobacterium lactis, that help maintain a healthy gut microbiome. Your gut bacteria are increasingly recognized as a major regulator of hormones. A well-balanced microbiome supports the estrobolome, the community of bacteria that produce enzymes to metabolize and excrete estrogen. When these bacteria flourish, they produce beta-glucuronidase in balanced amounts, allowing your liver to conjugate and clear excess estrogen effectively. Poor gut health, by contrast, can lead to reabsorption of estrogen in the intestines, driving up circulating levels and contributing to estrogen-dominant symptoms such as heavy periods, bloating, and breast tenderness. One clinical review found that women with estrogen-related disorders often show a 25% reduction in beneficial lactobacillus species in their stool samples. Calcium and vitamin D in Greek yogurt also support hormone health by influencing the hypothalamus-pituitary-adrenal HPA axis, which governs cortisol production. Adequate calcium intake, about 1,000 milligrams a day for most women, has been linked to 20% lower cortisol spikes in response to stress tests. Since cortisol is a stress hormone that can suppress reproductive hormones when chronically elevated, keeping it in check through diet is crucial. A 2019 trial showed that daily consumption of 1,200 milligrams of calcium from dairy sources reduced evening cortisol levels by 15% over 8 weeks. To maximize benefits, choose plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt. A 6-ounce cup contains roughly 100 calories, 15 grams of protein, and less than 6 grams of sugar when unsweetened. You can add fresh berries or a teaspoon of ground flaxseed for fiber, but skip flavored varieties, which can pack 20 grams or more of sugar per serving, enough to spike insulin and counteract yogurt's balancing effects. For a practical routine, include Greek yogurt as a midday snack or part of breakfast 3 to 4 times a week. Over 8 to 12 weeks of regular intake, many women report steadier energy, reduced cravings for sweets, and more predictable menstrual cycles, all signs that blood sugar and hormonal rhythms are stabilizing. Food number 6, walnuts. Walnuts are the only tree nut that provide not just healthy fats, but a significant amount of plant-based omega-3 alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, along with polyphenols and magnesium. 1 ounce of walnuts contains roughly 2.5 grams of ALA, which your body can partially convert into the anti-inflammatory EPA and DHA that help regulate hormone signaling pathways. Chronic inflammation is a known disruptor of endocrine function. It interferes with receptors for insulin, thyroid hormones, and sex hormones. A 2021 dietary survey reported that people with higher dietary ALA intake had 12% lower levels of C-reactive protein, an inflammation marker tied to hormonal imbalances. Walnuts also supply magnesium, about 45 milligrams per ounce. Magnesium is critical for over 300 enzymatic reactions, including those involved in synthesizing and activating hormones like estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. A 2018 clinical trial found that women who increased magnesium intake by 100 milligrams per day saw a 20% reduction in PMS symptom severity, including mood swings and cramps. Since roughly 75% of women of reproductive age experience some PMS symptoms each month, adding magnesium-rich walnuts can help shift that number downward. Another standout feature of walnuts is their polyphenol content, compounds like L-argitannins that act as antioxidants and influence estrogen metabolism. These polyphenols help the liver convert estrogen into its less potent forms, preventing estrogen dominance. One in vitro study showed that walnut polyphenols increased the ratio of 2-hydroxyestrone to 16-hydroxyestrone by 18%, indicating a healthier estrogen metabolism profile. While in vitro results don't always translate directly to humans, they point to walnuts' potential role in modulating hormone balance at a molecular level. Food number 7, berries. Berries are nutritional all-stars for hormone health because they deliver fiber, antioxidants, and phytonutrients with a low glycemic impact. A cup of blueberries provides about 4 grams of fiber and only 15 grams of sugar, yielding a glycemic load of around 6, a level that has minimal impact on insulin. Since insulin is a master regulator that influences the storage and release of other hormones, keeping post-meal blood sugar and insulin spikes low is essential. Numerous studies have linked diets rich in low glycemic fruits to improved menstrual regularity and reduced androgen levels in women with PCOS. In one randomized trial, women with insulin-resistant PCOS who consumed 50 grams of low glycemic fruits daily saw a 12% drop in fasting insulin after 8 weeks. Beyond fiber, berries supply anthocyanins, pigments responsible for their vivid colors and potent antioxidants. Anthocyanins help protect hormone-producing glands from oxidative stress. Oxidative damage in the ovaries and adrenal glands can impair hormone synthesis and clearance, leading to imbalances. A 2020 animal study showed that anthocyanin supplementation improved ovarian function markers, increasing progesterone production by 22%. While human data are more limited, epidemiological research indicates that higher berry intake correlates with lower markers of oxidative stress and inflammation in women, both of which support healthier hormone cycles. Berries also contain micronutrients like vitamin C and manganese. Vitamin C is critical for cortisol metabolism. Low vitamin C status is linked to higher cortisol responses under stress. A 2017 clinical trial found that individuals supplementing with 500 milligrams of vitamin C daily had 30% lower cortisol spikes during acute stress tests. Manganese supports enzymes involved in carbohydrate metabolism and bone health, indirectly affecting estrogen and insulin regulation. To weave berries into your diet, aim for 1 to 2 cups daily. Eat them fresh, blend them into smoothies with protein powder, layer them into Greek yogurt, or mix them into steel-cut oats. Frozen berries are a great cost-effective option that retain most of their nutrients. Over 2 to 3 months of regular berry intake, many women report fewer sugar cravings, smoother energy levels, and reduced severity of PMS symptoms, evidence that balancing blood sugar and reducing oxidative stress can translate into real improvements in hormonal health. Food number 8, sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are a rich source of complex carbohydrates, fiber, beta-carotene, and micronutrients that support balanced hormone production and regulation. Each medium sweet potato provides 3.8 grams of fiber and has a glycemic index around 50, meaning it raises blood sugar more gradually than white potatoes. Stable, moderate blood sugar is essential for keeping insulin levels steady. Chronically elevated insulin can suppress sex hormone-binding globulin, increasing the amount of free estrogen and testosterone in the bloodstream, which can exacerbate conditions like acne, PCOS, and hormone-driven mood swings. Research has shown that diets emphasizing low GI carbohydrates, like sweet potatoes, led to a 20% increase in SHBG over 12 weeks in women with insulin resistance. Beyond fiber and blood sugar, sweet potatoes are loaded with beta-carotene, about 8,500 micrograms in a medium tuber, a precursor to vitamin A. Vitamin A is essential for the hypothalamus-pituitary-ovarian axis, which controls the menstrual cycle. In vitamin A deficient states, women often experience irregular cycles and suboptimal follicle development. A 2018 survey found that nearly 30% of women of reproductive age have marginal vitamin A status. By supplying ample beta-carotene, sweet potatoes support the production of retinoic acid, which is needed for follicular growth and healthy ovulation. Sweet potatoes also deliver potassium and vitamin C, nutrients that help regulate cortisol and support adrenal health. Proper adrenal function ensures that your body doesn't overproduce or underproduce cortisol, a hormone that, when out of balance, can impair thyroid function and reproductive hormones. Studies indicate that adequate dietary potassium is associated with 15% lower cortisol levels in stress challenge tests, underscoring the role of electrolyte balance in hormonal equilibrium. To get these benefits, aim for 2 to 3 servings of sweet potato per week. You can bake them, roast them in wedges, mash them into mash with olive oil and herbs, or spiralize them into noodles. Combining sweet potatoes with a protein or healthy fat, like olive oil, avocado, or Greek yogurt, further slows digestion and supports steady blood sugar control. Over a period of 8 to 12 weeks, many women find that their energy levels flatten out. No more mid-afternoon crashes. Their menstrual cycles become more predictable, and they experience fewer PMS cravings, all signals that insulin, cortisol, and sex hormones are settling into a healthier rhythm. If you've been feeling off and nothing seems to help, try adding just a few of these foods into your routine. You might be surprised how much better your body responds. And if 1 or 2 really make a difference for you, let us know in the comments so other women can benefit too.